Yeah, let's go. Welcome to Dustin's Vinyl. That's Anthony Kapfer on the axe. I did the lighter, man.
I loved it. It really got me going.
Do people do the lighters anymore? I don't think they do. I think it's just cell phones, right?
Sometimes I'll see a percentage of cell phones and then a handful of lighters.
Yeah, that's how you can really tell the old people at the concert. It's like when you see the section of Bics just in the corner, it's like, hey, man, we still got it. We still got it.
We still want to rock.
Yeah, we put on Bengay for this. We're ready. Yeah, that is funny. I'm gonna look now. I got to look for the guy with the lighter in the concert. I mean, the cell phones. It's so annoying when people are just like filming the concert. It's like, like, don't you? The generation. I know a lot of us here on Twitch, whatever. The 6 people that watch us, but it's like I don't understand not having a moment to just kind of like take in a concert with feeling like you have to like record it and then put it up somewhere and then get hits off of it. Like you enjoy it through that, like somebody else like hitting the likes or whatever. It's just weird, man. I don't know. I think it's an organic. You're missing the organic experience,
because you're thinking about. You're like, I should be capturing this. This is content.
Yeah, and when I'll do a little bit of it, I'll do a second of it. I'll just be like, but I'll see people doing like a whole song and like the whole concert. Like, it's like, come on, dude.
But
it's
also,
like,
nobody wants to watch that. They never look good. They never sound good. It's like filming fireworks.
Yeah. Well,
we don't need it.
I blame YouTube. YouTube has made us think that things matter that don't. You know what I mean? I mean, YouTube's been awesome. I mean, in a lot of ways, because it's like YouTube teaches me how to do stuff, things that my father should have taught me. You know what I mean? YouTube's the dad I should have had. Like teaches me basic plumbing. How to like be your dad, throw a football. That kind of stuff.
Called you dad.
Yeah, you dad. There you go. Let's start it. I think we're onto something. Let's get Jay. Jay can do that stuff.
Let's do it.
Whip up you dad, and then just that's actually pretty funny.
Yeah,
like. Because you're going to have a kid soon, right? You got married.
No,
you might as well have a
we're
kid.
not having kids.
Dude,
we
that's
have
how
a dog
it works.
and a cat.
You say that. You're totally going to have a kid with long hair and a little ukulele.
No way.
You're totally going to have a kid.
We don't want kids.
Then why would you get married besides health insurance if you're not going to have a kid?
It was a lot to do with the health insurance. And we were already filing our taxes as married.
Oh, my God.
So we're like,
were you really? You can't say that. If you weren't married and you file as married, that's illegal,
you're allowed to
dude.
do that. You're allowed to do it in Colorado. California doesn't recognize it. So we decided.
So common law, pretty much.
Yeah. So that's okay. You can do that here. So when we decided to move, we're like, well, we should probably just since we're filing anyway, we might as well just go down to the courthouse.
Yeah, it's so romantic.
Yeah.
You look good though. You guys look good in your picture. All right.
Thank you.
I think you should have another wedding so that we all get to like have a party and stuff. So I can DJ.
We can have a party. We'll have a party. We'll do like.
I want to DJ your
party.
wedding. I want to DJ your wedding. It'll be fun. It'll be
DJ
good.
Dustin. I'm into it.
I can slam it. I can slam it. I got in trouble one time. Because I was a Mormon and I used to DJ the Mormon dances, and like we'd have like these dances. And I got in trouble one time because I was like playing inappropriate music.
Secular
I played
music.
I played "Rape Me" by Nirvana.
Wow.
And then I played "Talk About Sex." Like I got in so much trouble. It was hilarious. It was just I was on my way out anyway, so I was like, I'm just gonna play some shit.
The Rebel Mormon. I love that.
Yeah.
You know what I was gonna say when you were talking about YouTube and concerts? I used to go to concerts with a little tape recorder with a cassette tape, and I'd have it in my pocket, and I would record every concert that I went to for like, I don't know, the first few years I went to concerts.
Yeah, you are basically a episode of What's Happening, where Rerun got caught by the Doobie Brothers because he had a big ass tape recorder in his jacket, and it like fell out, and then the Doobie Brothers like just reamed him for like 10 minutes on how bootlegging is bad for the music industry and like the losing money.
I wouldn't upload it. There was nowhere to put it. You just have the tape in a little. I had like a little drawer that had all these tapes.
But your new nickname is Rerun for the rest of your life. This show, refer to him as Rerun, please. All right, let's bring in the other reruns. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Jeffrey Paul, Adam Holtz, everybody. Bring him in.
Hey.
Yeah.
Dustin, that had to be the worst acting in that episode. Because I don't know if it was like Skunk Baxter or Patrick Simmons. Like they were like, "Oh, Rerun, you disappointed us," and that was like probably like the 8th take.
That's pretty bad when you think the acting was bad and it wasn't the cast of what's happening. So
you remember what was like the killer line in that episode?
What was it?
When Dwayne goes, "Which doobie you be?"
Oh, and hilarious.
Lost it.
Oh my god!
And for those out in Twitch land, there used to be a show called "What's Happening."
I love that show.
There was a big guy in a beret. His name was Rerun, and he was a big boy, but he could dance. He could dance
Fred
real
Berry.
good. He danced like this. Did the Rerun. He had his own dance, the Rerun. And
his dance was called that?
The Rerun, yeah. Well, that's what it's called now. It's the Rerun.
He was almost as good as me.
Oh my god!
Fantastic.
Yeah. I don't think you can dance. You can't even cross the street without getting hit. So I don't think you can dance. You should have.
There was a day.
You should have moonwalked across the street and got a. Anyway, sorry, not to. I'm sure you're gonna live. All right, so we got random buys today. We do stuff that people pick up at the record store. It was record store day a couple of weeks ago, and I'm always in a record store, as in one today. What are you gonna do? Adam, what do you got for us?
All right, so I
got some, but I'll let you go first because you're so excited.
All right. So I got I got an album we talked about. I guess like it was probably the beginning of the year. I know it's a artist that Dustin, I don't think you really like too much, but the
Bruce.
Weekend.
No, the Weekend.
Weekend. Dawn FM.
He's looking better.
Yeah, which
that's what happened to me after the pandemic. I got all gray.
Yeah, just ferment that shit, bro. All right.
But I picked up the new Arcade Fire album. Oh,
cool. Okay.
Right there, which is
right.
I think it's it's an indie exclusive white vinyl too.
Nice.
You got a receipt with those albums?
They didn't have any Pat Benatar.
Adam steals them. He doesn't buy them.
I almost bought it. They had 5 Pat Benatar albums for $5.
Five for five, or
Five for five.
Are they $5 each, or
$5 each though? But
$5 each.
And then they had the coaster edition. I mean, technically they call them CDs, but
right. And then I got let me see. Oh, these are gonna be heavy. I haven't
got, dude. Jesus, what are these?
Oh, my brother gave me these, and they're classical
job,
Time
Anthony.
Life albums. This is the opulent era.
Wow, those are worth cash.
And
what's that one?
The romantic era, which is let's see.
Is that classical?
Yeah, Chopin. Chopin Liszt. Let me see what else. Mendelssohn, Schumann. It doesn't have a listing on it.
We'll do a classical episode because I love classical music. I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, I have a few classical records that I got real cheap at the record store. So
those are always in the bin outside. You can always get those for like $1.
They had a thing at this record store where you can't see what you're buying. It's just like there's like 10 records in a bag,
brown bag,
like a brown. Yeah,
I used to do that with drugs. They would just give me a bag of drugs. I had no idea what was in it, but I had a good time.
Back when you could do drugs.
You can still do drugs. You just gotta.
It's more complicated.
You gotta get hit by a car. You just gotta get by a car.
Oh yeah.
Legal drugs.
Gotta get those pills.
What do you got? You have something, Anthony, or no?
I had one of the records I'm going to talk about. I have on.
You bought.
Vinyl.
You just bought.
Nice.
So I was. Let's see. I got this record actually. A friend of mine is a producer. You think I know his name? His name's last name, I don't know. I made it through TJ. He's like a record producer, kind of sound engineer guy. This is a band. I got this in Austin. It's a new band. It's 40 Acre Mule. This is Good Night and Good Luck. I've listened to it a little bit. It's very Chuck Berry. And that's kind of like it's kind of the ghost of Chuck Berry almost when you listen to this. It's like very kind of like upbeat kind of guitar stuff. A little rockabilly, a little country. They're a Dallas band. They're kind of on the rise, and it's got some sax in it and some piano stuff, but it's it's just good time music. I think Jeff would like this band. It's very upbeat rock and roll, kind of like I guess my version of that Southside Johnny's shit you were talking about. Like this is like the Texas version of that. You know what I mean? This kind of music. So, because I like that music if it leans a little more blues and like rock or whatever. But that's, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, good stuff. And I didn't even know this existed. This is the new Chris Stapleton album. And it's kind of just a white kind of Beatles white album kind of thing going on here.
Yes, it does.
It's called
Pretty
Starting
original.
Over. What'd you say?
Pretty original doing a white album.
Well, he doesn't call it the white album. It says there, it just has like a little thing that says Starting Over. And, it's got a thing.
That was a John Lennon song.
Was it?
Yeah.
Starting Over? Okay. Maybe it's a tribute. I don't fucking know. I like Chris Stapleton. He won a Grammy for it. Apparently this album won Best Country Album of the Year. And I haven't listened to it yet, but this is the only one I don't have. I have all his albums, and I just kind of saw this. And it's funny, sometimes you get deals on records because of damage. This is like, apparently somebody had cut through the box. And so that's why. So this album was really cheap. And I was like, why is it cheap? And then I came home and I was like, oh, somebody sliced the back.
But the record is fine, right?
Yeah, the record's great. The record's great.
Then that's great.
You can't hurt a record. Yeah, I don't give a shit about what it looks like. Like I'm starting, here's a vinyl thing, because I don't think we talk about the art of collecting vinyl as much. But I have decided that I'm taking all my plastic sleeves off my albums. And there's a collector, actually the collector that produced this other album that I just told you about. He says he doesn't like the plastic when he grabs the album. And also I don't like it either. It bunches up in your your stuff or whatever, your shelves, like it bunches up. It's hard to get them out. And I like the feel of cardstock. Like I don't, I hate it. I don't know. So I'm taking all it off. And maybe, I don't think they're going to get damaged because they're in a shelf. But anyway, personal choice. Live free, guys. Do with them? Live free. I'm not going to throw them away. I'm going to keep them in case I want to. Okay. If I sell them, then I'll do it. You're not taking my plastic if that's what you're hitting at.
Well, if you were going to throw them away, I was going to say yes.
See how you are, Anthony? So opportunistic.
I like to keep the plastic on the records, but I don't have a case on my phone. Is that contradictory?
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Anthony is a really weird guy. That's why I like him. If he wasn't weird, I wouldn't like him. So that's how it works. Yeah, Anthony, that's weird because you could probably drop a record and it'll be fine. But if you drop your phone, you'll probably break it. So you do the math.
I'm worried about the wrong thing.
Anthony, he's coming to LA. Oh, well, get ready. Strap in, Dustin. Yeah. There he comes.
Two buddies.
Sorry, man. I'm on the road. All right. This is going to
be great. You're like, move back to New York.
Yeah, moving back. I'm moving back. Moving back to Queens. Move back to Queens. Here comes that. No, I'm excited for it. It's going to be fun. All right. So we're going to do a love-hate thing.
I love this topic.
Oh, good. I'll kick it off. If that's okay with everybody.
That's cool.
So I will do my hate album, and we'll open with that. And this album is it's really probably one of the most disappointing times of my life, and because I was a very young man, and when I was a young man, 8th grade, I was the biggest Twisted Sister fan of all time. And Stay Hungry was one of those albums that, wasn't probably as good as You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, but the way it was marketed and the songs were very anthem-y, and it was great for a 7th grader. Like, we were just like, oh my gosh, I think I remember I got in a fight with a bully and I won the fight. I think because I was humming We're Not Gonna Take It in my head. I mean, it was those videos were on all the time. I Wanna Rock was such a great album, a great song on that album, and Stay Hungry was fantastic. And I remember, I had this problem in junior high, and I got caught with booze because that's what early addicts do. I believe it was Barlam and James wine coolers, and we were at a school dance, and I got caught with these things, and so my mom had to take me I had to go to this like 3-week detention thing where my mom had to pick me up and take me there. I couldn't get a ride from friends. It had to be a parent pick you up. And so I went to this depressing thing, and you couldn't talk to anybody in the class. You had to do your homework, whatever. And I remember my mother picked me up one time. She had McDonald's, that's the kind of mom she was. She was on point. And then she bought me the new CD, and I was so excited. Twisted Sister, Come Out and Play. And I was so excited to hear this album. And I remember, and I was so depressed. And then when she put the CD in, it really made everything worse. And I felt like she was trying to be like, yay, here's your CD. And I've hated this album since the beginning of time. Ever since I've heard this album, I want to kill Twisted Sister. I believe it's the downfall of Twisted Sister. I feel like it ruined everything that they were kind of on their way to. I know they were a cheesy rock band, but they did have some talent. But the problem with this album is just was all over the place. They tried to do too many things. Come Out and Play, which is a great reference to the Warriors movie. And they open like that, Twisted Sister, come out and play. They try to do the whole come out and play thing. It's kind of interesting. I liked it. And then they do the Shangri-La cover, Leader of the Pack or something. And it's just the cheesiest Leader of the Pack. And it is just awful. And it's the first single they released. And so it's like, there's a couple of songs that are okay on this album. I actually don't have the list in front of me, but I know you guys, I know Jeff knows all the songs. But anyway, and then there's like 4 ballads on here. And it's like, come on, man. It's like The Price is a pretty good ballad, and that's it. Nobody wants to hear a Twisted Sister.
The Price isn't even on this one.
No. I know. It's on Under the Blade.
It's on Stay. Wait, I think it is on Under the Blade is a phenomenal album.
I think it's on Under the Blade. But anyway, it's like, but that's it. That's nobody wants to hear anymore. And so this has like 4 on it. The bonus track is also a ballad. And it's just really bad. And then you see parts of a band trying to do something they're not capable of doing. And that's what happens but you can tell they're trying to do some Black Sabbath thing. They're trying to do some other stuff, and it's just not working. And this album just breaks my heart because it's just terrible. I tried to listen to it again, and it just really got me as depressed as I was when I was in 7th grade. And you got to understand, I had Twisted Sister all over my walls. My entire wall was covered with Dee Snider. He was my hero. He fought for censorship. Like, everything was great. But this album just cut that off, and it ruined the band. They were never able to come back from this. This album ruined everything. I think it was overproduced. It was like, they relied on their image and Stay Hungry and the video market, and it just didn't work because every song on this is trash. And then it kind of revealed that it's like they weren't that good in the first place, and they got lucky. I mean, I think You Can't Stop Rock and Roll is where they should have. That's where they should have been headed. Instead, Stay Hungry was good. But I felt like they, instead of retreating back to being a better band, they just became a worse band because they got caught up in like videos and all that stuff. So that's my hate, is the Twisted Sister Come Out and Play. If you ever see one, buy it and send it to me so I can burn it. And I would love to do that. I would love to burn that album on camera. So that's my Twisted Sister album. Jeff, how do you feel about the Come Out and Play?
Oh, man. I forgot about Tom because I hate it. You are so right. I mean, It is Billy Squier-esque. Okay.
But really I like Billy Squier.
Well, Billy Squier had a first good album.
He had a couple of good albums, but once he came out with that video, that's what I think this album was. Yeah, it was Rock Me Tonight of albums.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just went to go look at the tracks on the album.
Yes.
And another one that cringe, I hate is Be Cruel to Your School.
Yes, that was terrible. That was terrible.
But think about it. They were a rock and roll band. They were on par with Motley Crue. They were one of the biggest bands. And then you come up with Leader of the Pack as your first single. How
Who decided on that?
It was terrible. Oh my God. I forgot about this album because I wanted to forget about it.
Yeah, that wasn't like the record label pushed them to.
No. What happens? I think. Well, the first album, I think the record label had some input. I think, but then I think when it's successful, I think the band has more control.
So they're like, guys, we get to release our cover of Leader of the Pack.
No, Dustin,
now that the record label's not going to be meddling.
I was friendly with AJ Pirro. Yeah, he was the drummer in the band. Actually, I have his picture hanging behind me. And the thing with this album was rushed. They were trying to capitalize on the videos and how hot Twisted Sister was. So they put this album out. So when you said it's a mixture of everything, they're trying to do everything but accomplish nothing, that's exactly what it was. They rushed the album. They didn't get a chance to write it the way they got to write Stay Hungry. And this was the outcome of it. This, if they let them take that time, they probably would have put out with a better record. But you're 100% right when you said this led to the downfall of the band. 1,000% right.
Yeah, it's really sad to see because I think they had some talent and they had a good fan base and they just kind of blew it. Yeah, they just blew it. So what we'll do is we'll do everybody's hate and then at the end we'll do everybody's love. That way that'll be a nice way to do it. So Jeff, what is your hate album?
Well, I like this topic a lot, but I took it as a little bit different. What you were going for? I thought it was something that I guess maybe like set back the band. And
that's how I presented it early, and then I thought it would be funnier if we did the hate, but it's the same thing.
Set back the band. I thought it was something that set back music in general.
To me, I mean, technically, music, if you have a soul, you would hate that.
So what I picked was an album that I think hurt the band's rise, even though they're still a big band. I picked the 2008 album Guns N' Roses Chinese Democracy.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And to me, this is not Guns N' Roses. I mean, there is no Slash. I think the problem with it is they took 15 years between albums to release this record. And I think within 15 years, people tend to move on. When it came out in 2008, but it was actually recorded in 1998, so it sounded dated when they released it. There is, Guns N' Roses. The Sweet Child O' Mine riff. Paradise City riff. There's no memorable guitar riffs. There's no great hooks in this, and it's not like they had bad musicians. Buckethead, Bumblefoot are really good players.
Amazing.
But they just were not Slash and Izzy in Guns N' Roses, which is the heart of the band. The album received they had no real radio.
Who was the label on this?
The label?
Yeah.
Aren't they on?
Was it Geffen still? It was still Geffen?
Yeah, because they were contractually obligated to put out the album as well. But there was no real radio songs. There was no real traction to this. I mean, songs like Chinese Democracy, Madagascar, nothing. There was no Paradise City. There was no November Rain. You get the feeling the band itself just didn't believe in it. Besides getting delayed, I don't know if you remember, like you kept waiting for this album to come out, and it kept getting delayed multiple times. When it did come out, there was no video. There was very little promotion for it. There was no tour backing this up. It just wasn't a good album. Then on top of it, they were trying to do what other bands were doing, whereas get exclusivities to selling only in one store, and then the store would push it. But they picked the wrong store. They picked Best Buy, which was on its downfall, and Best Buy never really even displayed the albums properly. So it didn't even sell well to a rabid Guns N' Roses fan base. So when you talk about something that really pushed you back and made you disappointed, Chinese Democracy is as disappointing a record that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember just how excited we were, just waiting for it to come out. But, I hate to say it. I've said it before on the show, they're a one album wonder, it's like there's a couple of good songs beyond Appetite, but not many, maybe 4. It's like maybe a couple. I mean, I just
you don't like to Lose Your Illusions.
It's okay. I think there's a few songs on there, but I don't. Appetite for Destruction is I think top 10 rock album. Like it's a perfect album, but beyond that, I can't. I can't. I can't do Axl on a piano. You know what I mean? It's like but I'm not into that. And Slash, without Slash, he's nothing, man. It's like Slash is so important in that band.
It's not Guns N' Roses.
It's not Guns N' Roses because the soul of who they are, they started out, they were friends, they were young together. Like you take that away. I don't care how I've seen Steve Vai go into bands and it doesn't work. And he's the greatest guitarist because they just don't have that thing. That's why, I don't know, David Lee Roth's solo stuff could not match the early Van Halen stuff just because the soul's not there. You know,
it was close though.
It was first record.
Eat 'Em and Smile. Was that the first one?
Yeah, it's great.
I don't think you think it's great on the Van Halen level. I don't think it's great on the Van Halen level.
Yankee Rose isn't Shy Boy.
Half those songs are covers, and I don't think it's anywhere close to the Van Halen level. It's not. It's fun. It's David Lee Roth. He's a good time, and the music's pretty good. It's memorable, but it's nothing like Van Halen. Come on, dude. That's like once in a lifetime bands. You don't think so?
I think so. I think he came close. But I don't think it was.
Do you think Sammy Hagar came close? Like, what do you? No. I mean, what's close? Like, I don't think it's close to what Van Halen did.
There were different bands with Hagar.
Eddie Van Halen, come on, dude.
That album sounds more like a Van Halen album than Van Halen with Sammy Hagar.
Okay, well, it does, but there's the covers.
But there's some magic that's missing.
He's got some leader of the pack energy in that album.
No, but I mean,
he does. I'm just a gigolo everywhere I go. Like, shut up, dude. I'm gonna slap him when I hear that.
Was that on Eat 'Em and Smile?
I don't think so.
I don't think that was. I think that was on the next album.
I don't care. It's all the same to me. It's David Roth with this scotch in my face.
Albums later. Skyscraper was the next one.
I don't know. I'm Van Halen all day. First 4 albums.
I love Van Halen.
That's it. So. But all right. So that's anything else on the
Chinese Democracy?
I used to kind of know Bumblefoot, a band that I played drums in. He produced their album, and I think he played on one of the songs, and we did a couple shows with the Bumblefoot band, and he would come on and play a couple songs with us.
Did you make fun of how bad the album was?
I don't think the album had come out yet, and he wasn't even allowed to talk about it. He had something on his website about it, and they sent him a cease and desist. Like, they weren't even cool to him while he was, but they wanted him so bad. He was getting paid like a weekly salary, even when they weren't touring or rehearsing, just like a holding deal or something, just to be available.
And he was like one of the main producers, or
no, he played.
He was one of the guitar players, but he produced one of the albums of a band that I played drums in.
Oh, okay. But
it was such a mishmash of a band, because you also had Buckethead who played on, and they're both really good in their own right, but it's just not Guns N' Roses.
No, and I think they went too far with the kind of virtuoso players. Like, Slash is good, but Slash doesn't do what like Buckethead and Bumblefoot are doing. He doesn't do all that kind of crazy stuff.
But he's still great in his own right, and a lot of it is feel.
It doesn't need that crazy stuff. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's more tasteful.
Yeah,
it's not just like all technique stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Adam, think about it. If you took Yngwie and put him in Guns N' Roses, that'd be an awful fit. But he's still a great player. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
Adam likes to sit on it. He likes to take it in a little before he responds.
Yeah, Tommy Stinson was in Guns N' Roses at that time too, I think.
I think Kapfer was in there at some point. It was, so they had a lot of people going in and out.
Right.
I also had Brain, the drummer. He was in Primus for a little bit, and then he was in.
But like I said, it doesn't. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. This doesn't. It's doesn't have the soul.
I actually own that album too on vinyl.
Which one?
Chinese Democracy.
Oh my God! Yeah. Did you make a clock out of it?
Yeah, I got it as a Christmas gift. That with Appetite for Destruction. So.
They get it too. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had it on vinyl. That's crazy. But I bet that's crushing on eBay.
Right.
I think that's what Best Buy had. I think maybe it was an exclusive vinyl or something.
It was Best Buy, that put it out.
I remember seeing it. I didn't buy it. I don't even know if I've listened to that album all the way through.
Guns
N' Roses, so boring, whatever I heard.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear new stuff. I mean, they did a new track with Slash, with the band that they have now, which is basically almost the original band.
Yeah, it's a new.
Who's missing? Is it Duff is gone, or is he?
It's terrible. It's just like I didn't know what it was. I couldn't tell what was going on.
I saw them do it over the summer. Yeah, it was very disappointing.
Yep, me too.
Which original guy are they missing?
Izzy and Steven Adler.
But yeah, I mean,
so it's Duff and Slash. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still good live. I mean, I saw them at the peak. I saw them in '89, so there was, you're not gonna get much better than that. But So I'm kind of glad I saw them then. I don't really want to see them, just in their wheelchairs and shit. But and just I don't know, just the amount of things that Slash has going on with his face and his hair. I don't know what's going on over there. It's like,
what's going on with his face?
He's got plastic surgery. He's got beaded dread things. I don't know what's going on. It's a mess.
When did this happen?
Look at him. Google it. Google Slash. Slash looks weird, and I guarantee you some stuff will come up.
I saw him in August. He looked like Slash. He did
not. He
looked like the Predator for a while.
He was like a beautiful 20-year-old man when he was not
when he was 20 years old.
I'm talking about Axel. That's what
Axel.
Axel
looks weird.
Axel, not Slash. Slash.
Yeah.
Oh, you were saying. I was hearing it the right way. I understood what you meant. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Slash is great. He's got the hat. He's fine. I'm talking about Axel. Axel looks weird. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, Slash looks almost the same.
Yeah. Axel looks like a grandmother.
Yeah. He looks awful.
He looks like he looks like it just looks weird. He's got the dread, the corn rolls. He looks like that lady. Remember, she pretended to be black, and it was a big deal.
That's who Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, he looks like Rachel Dolezal. Anyway.
Not a good comparison for a man.
Yeah, that's what every guy wants, every rocker. But he was a beautiful man. He was. He was cool. He dated my favorite model, Stephanie Seymour, and then she was great.
She was great. She was gorgeous. In that video.
She's in Playboy.
November Rain.
Good times, guys. Before everybody, you could look at girls in magazines. All right, so let's go, Adam. What are you hating on, or setting back, or whatever your angle is? I don't care what it is.
Right. Actually, my love and hate albums came about a couple of weeks apart. They were released a couple of weeks apart back in October of 2000. So this might be some low-hanging fruit. This is a band that a lot of people hate. I think we touched upon them recently. It is Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish, and the hot dog flavored water.
Is that the one after this? It
was after. So this was actually their third album. So when it was $3 Bill and Significant Other came out when I was in college, and I actually liked them. I actually liked Significant Other.
Yeah.
I went out and bought this album at Tower Records when it came out, and it is now this is the crazy thing. When I was looking it up before, it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, sold over 1 million copies.
Jeez.
With 400,000 of those being sold on the album's first day. Now, this is the largest first week sale debut for a rock album since the Nielsen SoundScan began tracking sales in '91. I mean, it's
this was a really bad album.
Can you say the title again?
Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water. So the title is I was reading what Wes Borland was saying about the title, is that Chocolate Starfish is supposed to be Fred Durst. Everybody was calling him an asshole, so he would just introduce himself as the Chocolate Starfish.
Oh, I got you.
And
because your asshole looks like a starfish.
Yep.
He's a terrible person. Did you guys see? I think we talked about the Lollapalooza.
Yeah, the Woodstock 99.
Woodstock 99. That's what it was. Woodstock 99. You saw that as well, Anthony?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
He doesn't look good in it.
He's enticing. It's like crazy. Like people were just telling people to charge and stuff. Like it was just ridiculous.
He pretty much single-handedly ruined the entire Woodstock festival.
That whole thing was a mess. Yeah. But I mean, that was a weird time in music. I liked Limp Bizkit when it came out. I'm not gonna lie. Nookie was fun. They were kind of doing something a little, between hip hop and some other stuff. It was fun. It was different kind of music. Got a little punk, a little hip hop. I liked it. And then it was just that one song. And then it's like, then you got sick of him, and he was just like, and then the fact they were treating him like he was some sort of Bob Dylan of our generation. And you're like, okay, guys, calm it down.
Fred Durst, Bob Dylan. Oh,
but they were giving him awards. He was on everything. It was everywhere. That dude was everywhere in the 90s, man. And it's like, just gross.
I mean, he had such poetic lyrics, like, because your mouth's writing checks that your ass can't cash.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, the first
Jeff
song
has
on the
that
album
tattoo. I don't know if you knew that. Right here.
That was a bad album.
Oh, it's just bad album. This is the first time I listened to it in 20 years. I think since or whenever since it came out. I remember getting it. I think I listened to it once and that was it. I just got rid of it. But the first song on it, song Hot Dog, he says the word fuck 46 times in it. And he actually makes mention at the end. He goes, if I say fuck one more time, it'll be 46 times.
Yeah.
It's shit.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's just hot. That's a bad album. It is a bad
some
album.
guys should think about suicide early in their career.
It'll
make you better. It'll make you better than that extra album.
I saw somewhere they it said originally it was listed in the book 1,001 albums you must hear before you die.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Just so you can realize what a bad album sounds like, so you appreciate other music. Yeah, I think that's.
Is this one of those albums? You know how sometimes Pitchfork will change their review to be like they'll make it a perfect score because they were wrong. Is this one of those albums where maybe they were like, "This is going to be great," and then now they've lowered it?
It was never good.
No, I don't think they ever. I don't think they even reviewed it. Rolling Stone gave it 3.5 stars too.
Out of 10?
Out of 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. That's bad. We had picked 3 really bad albums here, I got to say. I don't want to go back.
I'm excited for Anthony's. I really hope it's better than
I hope it's not controversial.
I swear to God, if it's Scarecrow by John Mellencamp.
That's too obvious. I wanted to pick something up.
Anthony's a misdirect guy. All right. So what do you got, buddy?
All right. So mine is I don't know if the artwork's gonna come up. Mine is Kid Rock, Devil Without a Cause. Which I bought when it came out. When I was like, I don't know, 11, probably when they 12.
We made a lot of weird musical choices when we were 11 and 12.
Well, I was a kid, so, and I was kind of at this time I wasn't that much into Limp Bizkit, but I liked Korn and I liked Rage Against the Machine, and I liked some of that kind of stuff that was happening. And then Kid Rock came out, and I heard Ba with the Ba, and I'm only human.
Oh, come on. That's such a great song.
But Jeff, the word great, you really throw that around a lot.
Oh, I love that song.
At the time,
you're rocking.
They sold me on it. I was 11 years old. This was marketed to me, I think, directly. But I listened to this. I haven't listened to this in at least 20 years. And it is awful all the way through. The whole album is terrible. He's not a good rapper. He doesn't have anything to say.
He's got something to say now.
Cowboy.
He's got something to say now.
He's a cowboy.
Oh yeah, he's one of those Detroit Cowboys. But even anything that he is saying, it's not even genuine because he's some rich kid who just, he kind of bought his way into where he was. So even as untalented as he is, there's really no saving grace because he's not even being sincere in his art. And it's when I was listening to this again, like there are moments where you can tell he's going for like a Rage Against the Machine kind of thing. They have like the Tom Morello-esque guitar riff, and like he'll do a kind of scream during his rap or whatever. But it's sort of all over the place. There's like, it feels like it also wants to be an album kind of like Beck's Odelay or like Paul's Boutique or something like that. But very unsuccessfully. And I just hated it. Really, what it sounded like to me, re-listening to it, I was like, this is like if the Bloodhound Gang was not trying to be funny. It's like if they took themselves seriously, this is what they would sound like. There's even a song where Eminem does like a verse, and they don't. He even ruins that because like the music kind of fades out or something during the. It's almost like he didn't want Eminem's part to sound too good. So he's like, "Can we have the drums kind of fade out?" And then it's just a cappella, and then it just ends. And then, like,
That's what I do when I'm on a comedy show and somebody's funnier than me. I usually lower their microphone and then I'll raise it up and I go on, "Hey guys."
So I don't know. I pretty much all the way through, it was like junk food. I could see where the moments were. They're like, oh, okay, they put this in here because this was something that was happening at the time and they want to capitalize. But it's very insincere all the way through. And you can see what they're going for, and I think it misses the mark from beginning to end.
That was awesome. Let me go, Jeff. I know you want to go, Jeff. I know you're waiting to jump in like double dutch. But
if Anthony was a lawyer, he presented a good case.
He did. No, it was very good. I will say that as someone who dresses like Kid Rock, I will address this. When I was an active drug addict, alcoholic, I loved this album. I feel like it tapped into party mode. This was like, I love obviously the cowboy song is great. I love that little Sheryl Crow number. It's kind of fun. It's I get a little sentimental about the ex. I get it. Everybody has that feeling, and so I get that. The Bada Bang thing, that's a fun one to come out. I'm not going to lie. I've come out to it a few times on comedy shows.
Perfect song to start that album with.
I've come out to Cowboy a few times. I've come out to Cowboy a few times. I feel like this album is like, it is someone who's partying and somebody who's like, you're not necessarily a music snob when you're kind of out there buying Kid Rock music. But, and I don't think I bought it. I think somebody had it in my apartment and I kind of got into it and stuff. And, I do like that one song where I Can't Go Out. What's that song? He's like, people fuck with me when he goes out and stuff.
I feel like that is a lot of the songs on this one.
Guys, fuck with me when I go. I forget the song. It's been a while since I heard it too.
The other thing is that a lot of his like the flow and the kind of rhythm of his verses are like very similar from track to track. Like he only has a couple of tricks that he's pulling out in his rap abilities.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of fusion, and I feel like there was a lot of experimentation that's happening that was pretty cool for a minute, but I think we just all outgrew it. And the only band that did it to stand the test of time was like Rage Against the Machine, Beastie Boys, and there was other bands that were doing that stuff, but they just weren't as talented as those guys, and so that's why they fizzle out. And the thing is with Kid Rock's pretty smart though, man, because he'll take like once something is kind of fizzing out, then he's like, okay, I'm kind of a Southern rock guy now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of more country now. Now I'm more kind of fuck you Trumpy now. Like he just goes with where that bass goes. Yes. So like he follows his fan base into their musical shit and ends up in their truck. And then people still fucking go to his concerts. The guy's still selling out arenas because of that. Because he knows how to kind of like find his base.
He's very smart. I mean, this is not the same kind of album like what some of you guys were, where it's like the downfall. I mean, this was very much responsible.
This is an upfall. Yeah.
This is the best thing he could have done.
Yeah. Out of all the albums, it's like probably the best one. Yeah. So, but you just hate it. And I get it. And I don't know. I feel out of love with him. So obviously he talks too much and does too much bullshit. But yeah, I kind of like this album. I'm not going to lie, but I think I definitely outgrew it. I think.
Try to listen to it again. It sounds so dated. It's just everything about it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's great when you're drunk. And,
it's a party album, and it encapsulated 1998 pretty perfectly.
Yeah, it's
like
what
I liked about that.
Yes,
you
Jeff.
On this one, Anthony. When you talk to people, sometimes those go, "I hate it." Why? Because it sucks. Why? Because it's terrible. Those aren't. I mean, you're backing up your opinion. And I can't argue with you on that. That's your opinion. You're right. I mean, I agree more with Dustin than you on this, but you have valid arguments about it. So I respect what you're saying here.
I almost hate it even more because there are moments that are good, but not real because it's not. There's a moment. It's not being sincere. He's faking it all the way from the first moment. He's faking all of it. None of it is none of it's sincere. So that's what I hear. But then I'm like I'm bobbing my head. Some of it's catchy. It's overproduced. So it sounds slick. but I don't respect it.
Yeah, it's kind of, it has a little Dice Clay to it, where it's just like he's trying to he's trying to be more of what he is.
He even references Jerry Lewis at one point, which is a thing that the Beastie Boys did for over the course of their entire career, and he just really was trying to be every white rap guy rolled into one.
Oh, my critics in the methadone clinic.
Yeah. And there were 2 songs where he was like, drink like a something, drink like a curse. Like, it's like, dude, you did this already.
That's cool.
You're coming back to this 3 songs ago. We get
cool,
it.
Anthony.
Why didn't you put that in the other song?
So, what about you, Adam? How do you feel about this Kid Rock album?
This is one I haven't listened to in probably 20 years also. And, I actually really like this album in college.
We all had a moment where we liked it.
Yeah. I remember we used to play this at parties. We had it on it was on the Winamp playlist.
Oh man, Winamp with the little image of
the llama.
Oh man.
But yeah, I kind of want to. I'm going through the track list. I kind of want to listen to it again. I remember. I'm sure it's horrible now.
It really doesn't hold up.
You don't like the Sheryl Crow song?
That's not on
which
there,
one was that one?
Was that on there? Oh, that's another one.
Picture. What is it? No.
Pictures of You. That's not on there.
No, it's not. It's a different. That's later.
Oh, it's a different album. Okay.
Was it on his album? Or was it on her album?
I think it was on his album.
I thought the Cowboy, and that was on this. Cowboy's on there.
Cowboy's
right?
on this.
Okay.
I
think maybe it was the next one, because the next one had one of them had like Snoop Dogg on it, and there was like all kinds of guests, and I think it might have been on that one. I forget what the title was. There was another big one, and they're all just pictures of his face. Oh, I was hoping you would call me after the Chinese Democracy, because if you notice, Kid Rock's got he's got the braids in this photo.
Okay.
He's got the little he's also rocking those.
I'm going to say this though. Kid Rock's hair game is pretty on point though. Like he's got nice hair in his 40s. Like he's crushing.
He held on to his hair. Yeah.
It's just not hard. We're all trying to do that. Yeah.
Of everything, his hair is the best part of him, but not so much the braids, and not when he had the flat top. Do you remember the photos?
I don't remember the flat top. Yeah.
Flat top.
I'm not early Kid Rock, but no, it's what I liked about Kid Rock was it was the image of, because I'm a fusion of things. Like I'm a little hip hop, I'm a little heavy metal, I'm a little country, I'm a little like I'm all those things. I encompass that with my dress, with my style, with the way I am, with my friends. It's like it's just and so I enjoyed somebody, and I like flashy, I like Elvis, and I like Johnny Cash, and I like Run DMC, and I like all the things that kind of he absorbed. So I don't know. I think he got horrible as a human being, and then that affected kind of the music he was doing.
Why is he horrible as a human being?
Because he's pushing on his agenda, of just kind of like, basically just kind of motherfucking everybody and just not being sensitive to the needs of the world. And it's like making he's going down that Ted Nugent route. And I think it's like you can be active in your communities, and it's the same kind of thing. Like people who don't want abortion, but at the same time nobody's taking care of foster kids. It's like I don't know. It's a sensitivity that I don't like, and you're just pressing it on people. You're pressing it. And I don't think rock and roll should be that. I think rock and roll should be about love and just making it about the music. It's like if your lyrics aren't lifting people, then shut the fuck up.
Well, there's no substance, even on this album, which was like he probably.
There's a reason the Beatles are the greatest band of all time. Their lyrics lifted people. Like you get, it's like, come on, dude. It's like I'm just telling you. It's like, now, have you heard his last song, Jeff? Like "Fuck You." I think it's called "Fuck You." I think that's the name of the song.
And a couple of them.
It's his video that came out. Like it's just, I don't know. I just think he took a turn. He's trying, just like Anthony said, he's pandering to that.
A lot of bands and artists do that. They're panders. I mean, Kid Rock isn't. He's just like, what he is. He's just like another guy in music. He's fine. He's not. He's not top 10.
This is all I'm saying.
Top 20.
he's trying to like do the kind of Trump rally-esque kind of music, which is not what he started out doing, And so I'm just saying he's leaning towards that, which I don't know. I think it's a mistake. I think it just puts him in a box, and he's trying to. I get what he's doing. The same thing he was doing with trying to be a country rock guy or whatever. It's like he's pandering to that audience. Like he's just trying to be that guy. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what he did on this album. He tried everything. Yeah. He made sure he checked all the boxes. He's like, do we have something that sounds like Rage Against the Machine and Limp Bizkit? Yeah, do we have something that sounds kind of like maybe like the Beastie Boys, or something that is like a old school hip hop? There's a country ballad. He uses auto-tune, which is weird because I think at this point only Cher had a hit song with like that heavy auto-tune.
Also, what's that? T-Pain.
Yeah, but that was later. Wasn't that like in the very early 2000s?
It was T-Pain, right? Yes.
Yeah, T-Pain.
So this was like, but Cher was in the late 90s.
Yeah, so this would have been maybe like the same year or the year after that Cher song, but before T-Pain and everybody else was doing the auto-tune thing.
He's not a great singer. What I liked about his band was I thought the band itself rocked. I thought they can play.
Oh yeah, the musicians. Yeah,
I like it.
They're too good. They're too good.
That's what I liked.
It. Past tense. I thought it was great. I grew out like I grew out of Twisted Sister. I grew out of Kid Rock. It's just not for me anymore. I think it's it's not that. Look at his last video. You'll see what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. He's just like pushing that like fuck you Democrat. It's like whatever,
fuck
man.
Fauci and
it's just like fuck wearing a mask, and it's like okay, man. It's like, can't you just go down another road and talk about getting pussy? You know what I mean? Like
all of a sudden he's trying to have substance, and it's completely the wrong point of view.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's just why? Because I don't know. I just don't like it.
Maybe
he's going after the left.
Maybe that's just his fan base.
It is his fan base, and it's dumb.
Right,
it's
so
like
he's playing to his fan base.
I don't know. Like I said, I grew out of it. I respect
Bieber
it.
Fans gonna like him.
Whose fans?
Justin Bieber fans gonna like him.
No.
So he's playing to who's gonna go see him. That's who's gonna go see him.
Well, but Justin Bieber fans probably listen to Fleetwood Mac because that's who they're exposed to.
Yeah.
So
and he's touring this summer with Foreigner.
Dude, I'm just saying I would see him live if it was somebody else on the bill and you bought me tickets.
Wait,
but
Dustin,
and you drove me down and you drove me to the concert.
And you bought me free dinner.
And you bought me food. And you bought me food. Yeah, we go.
Yeah, there's a limo.
And you let me take Anthony. Yes.
Okay. If you're in New York,
yes.
Okay, and you're off that night, would you go see Kid Rock and Foreigner at PNC?
Sure. If I'm not doing a gig, I would.
If
I'm not paying for it and I don't have to pay, I'll see anybody who don't have to pay for it. I heard Third Generation Hitler Band. If somebody's paying for it, I don't care.
I've seen Third Generation Hitler Band. They're great. They're a marching band, but they're really good.
There it is. There it is. That's how you close the show. This is such a good segment. We got to do it all the time. I love
we didn't even talk about the ones we love.
That's the best part. That's the best part.
We should do albums we hate.
Yeah. Well, we'll do that. But the love will be fun too. It probably won't be as fun, but it'll be fun. So that's today we got through hate. Sometimes you gotta just talk about the hate. And I'll think of something else to go along with the love, because I think those aren't going to be as good, because we'll just be like, we love this band, and then then we run out of shit to say. We're better as a whole when we talk shit. But we'll see. You never know. But we'll do something. I guess we don't have any memes, do we, Adam?
Well, no. I just saw this shirt that they sell. It says Kid Rock is the Fred Durst of Ted Nugent's.
Nice. Exactly.
So true.
Yeah. It's like, So actually Kid Rock's here tonight. Let me zoom him on. I think he's trying to get into the Zoom right now. Fuck you, bitches. You weak lefties. All right. That's our show, everybody. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Please like our YouTube page so we can get our numbers up, and share the love. Let other people know about us. Dustin's Vinyl. This was a good time. Adam Holtz, Jeffrey Paul, and on the axe, Mr. Anthony. Play a little music at the end, Anthony.
Yeah, I got a show.
Anthony. Play some Kid Rock, Anthony.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to play any of his songs.
That's all right. That's probably a good thing. Yes. Bye, everybody. Woo! Bye, vinyl. Rock and roll. Comedy Hub. Yeah. That was great, guys.